second to check that you've actually got audio.
I'm here. Yeah, hello.
Hello. Hooray!
Hello.
Continue our streak of having zero technical difficulty throughout the entire of AWSHUX. It's a thing of beauty. So today, without further ado, I'm going to jump in and we're going to have a look at Maximum Apocalypse: Wasted Wilds. And this is this is looking interesting. This is by Rock Manor Games, and it's, well, why don't you gents give me an introduction? First of all, the important questions. What colour am I going to be? Where do I sit?
We're going to have you be the contractor so we can get going as fast as possible.
The contractor. So, okay, this one?
What color is this? Green, no?
Green.
And everyone should draw 4 cards from their deck, sort of get started. I can go first when we actually start, but I'm sure there are people watching who are familiar with Maximum Apocalypse, but if you're not, Maximum Apocalypse is a roguelike adventure game for 1 to 4 players, where you're surviving in a post-apocalyptic world with lots of different apocalypses. There's lots of different characters and survivor types, so we all have our own unique deck of cards and skills. And if you don't mind, one of the things we're trying to do with Wasted Wilds is have a little bit more storytelling involved. So to set the mood, I have a little story I can read here. You've been living outside of Lake City, Colorado for a few years. You go on runs into towns for supplies, but things are drying up, and you've been picking up robot transmissions on the radio. You're gonna have to make your way up to the mountains to avoid their patrols. We know we're not alone. Scouts have spotted campfires up in the mountains, so there must be other people out there. We can only hope that we can trade with them, mysterious people, for some food to get through the winter. Before we can even attempt to make our way into the cold, we're going to need to go hunting for pelts and pick up our food stockpile. So our mission objectives are to kill 2 bears, store 1 food card per player, and 3 fuel in the van. And then I have these purple tokens on the map because Objective A is a food stockpile. We can go and take an action and collect a bunch of food there. And Objective B is a gate up to the back roads of the mountain that we're going to need to unlock. So we're going to need to visit those 2 things, collect 3 food and 3 fuel, kill 2 bears, and then get back to the van without dying. So
I mean, how hard could that be? That sounds like a walk in the park.
Well.
I mean, hopefully it's not too hard. This is like the first mission of the campaign, but so before we start, the last thing we do once we set up and build our map and everything, this map is randomized, so you can play this mission again and again, and the tiles are arranged randomly. When our van pulls up into this area, we do all start with a monster in front of us. So I'm going to deal out monsters to everybody.
I got a wolf.
This is the wilderness monster set, so it'll be wolves and elk and bears and things like that. And then we're pretty much ready to go. So I do have like a little cheat sheet over on the right side of Tabletop Simulator for what a turn sequence is. But I'll start just so you guys can be more familiar with it. The first thing you do is things can always get worse. We roll dice to see if we spawn monsters. Monsters spawn based on the number in the upper right of a tile. So if I had rolled an 8, that would have been really bad for us. But I did not, so that's okay. The next thing we do, this is a new thing in Wasted Wild, is the next thing you do is you advance time. So we have this clock board here, and there's gonna be this dial, and you will turn that dial, and then at the sort of 6, if you think of it as a clock, at the 6, 9, 12, and 3 points, there's these cards that can trigger. So we have NPCs that we can interact with. We have day-night cards that can be added. But for the first scenario, the only thing we're dealing with is this exposure deck up top. So when we hit that top point, if we're outdoors, you'll notice that the van tile has a little house in front of it, meaning that it's indoor and safe from the elements. If we're stuck on an outdoor tile when that clock hits the top, we're all going to get a little frostbite and start taking damage, which isn't a great thing. So the next thing I do is I draw a card, and then I take 4 actions on my turn. The actions I can do is I can move, which I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start off by moving to explore. We'll go here, and we've got a cavern tile. So when you reveal the caverns, you draw a monster. So I'm going to draw another monster card. So I have 2 wolves. And then I also have to spawn monsters again, which means I have to roll these dice. That shouldn't be too bad. 6 avoided more monsters appearing. And then for my next action, I'm going to equip this Uzi. It comes in with 7 bullets. For my third action, I'm going to discard all 7 bullets, dealing X damage to up to 2 targets in range. And it's mid-range, which means it can affect any of the monsters on my tile, which is here, and then any of the monsters on tiles adjacent to me. So I could have shot monsters here and here. So I could help you guys out as well, but I'm not going to do that.
Sorry, Mike. Could you just repeat that again? I had to tweak with your face slightly because you got trapped in a rainbow blizzard. It's a completely normal sentence to say within board games generally.
I like rainbow blizzards. I was just saying that I equipped my Uzi, and as an action, I would normally have put ammunition on it, but it comes in with 7 shots. But I'm actually going to shoot it immediately and spend all 7 bullets to mow down these 2 wolves in front of me, dealing them 7 damage each. So I'm going to discard them both to protect myself. And then for my final action, I'm going to just draw a card. So I'm scared to move any further.
Well, what's the problem? We've got caves, we've got wolves, we've got obviously the impending frost. I don't see why we shouldn't just sprint out in our underpants.
You never know which tile you could, and knowing my luck, I'd flip over something even worse and stumble into something worse. So at the end of my turn, the monsters in front of me would activate left to right, but I killed them all, so I'm not going to take any damage from that. And my hunger increases. Out in the wilderness, we're always getting hungrier and hungrier. So we're going to want to find tiles where we can scavenge things. And in the upper left, there will be a scavenge symbol associated with one of the colored decks. If we want to scavenge for goods. So I'll pass the dice to Matt next, and we can see what happens.
All right. And so, Mike, just to call out, what is the different characters in our game? What are their specialties?
See, that's why Matt Kange is here, because he's going to keep me on point and make sure I cover everything. So we have Matt is playing the chef. The chef is really good at keeping everyone well fed. So I just talked about how our hunger increases. Matt, if we can scavenge and get him food cards, he's better at utilizing those food cards and feeding us than a normal person. He can ration out and cook up something nice with what we find. I'm playing as the driver. I'm one of the better damage dealers that we have in our group. So I have Uzis and weapons and guns, but I tend to burn a lot of cards in my discard pile. And one of the many ways you can die at Maximum Apocalypse is if I ever go to draw a card from my deck and I run out of cards, I'm dead and the game is over. So the driver tends to burn through their deck a little faster than most because she's sort of running on adrenaline. And then last but not least, we have the other Matt, or maybe I should say the primary Matt, the shut up and sit down Matt.
I mean, I can be the other Matt. It's fine.
We're all used to it. Matts.
I was doing a Destiny raid the other week where I'd organised it, but then there was another guy called Matt there, and he was kind of referring to himself as other Matt, and I'm like, no, you're Matt. The other Matts are always you're not. Yeah.
Anyway, so you are the contractor. He is very beefy, has a ton of health. He's sort of like a tank. So if we're going to let anyone take damage, we want it to be you. You have 36 health, which is a lot more than my 24.
Typical.
But as a big burly guy, your hunger tends to rise a little quicker than others.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course you can starve to death. So you don't want that to happen. You also have this ability to barricade tiles, and you'll place one of these barricade tiles on the tile you're on. And what's great about that is if you roll that dice and monsters are supposed to spawn there, instead of spawning, they're just going to break the barricade, and you won't have to draw monsters. So if you're sitting on a number that's likely to be rolled, you can sort of barricade it away. You can barricade the van, which we know we have to return to, so monsters aren't sitting there waiting for us when we return.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. All right, so what are you going to do, Mr. Chef Matt?
All right, I'm going to roll. First thing, we got 5.
Classic number.
Safe. Okay. So move, draw a card, play card out. So first thing, without a doubt, going to put a knife. Got to get that.
Did you draw your card, though? You get to draw a card.
Definitely didn't draw the card.
What's the chef with that knife?
You said it.
Go.
You didn't do it.
This isn't magic, so there's no rules. I can skip a step and go back. Okay, so...
Are you implying this, magic? This isn't Magic the Gathering? You're implying my game isn't as popular as Magic the Gathering?
No, there's no one's gonna yell for, a judge or something.
Okay.
Get really upset. Us casuals don't really get kicked out of the tournament,
Gotcha.
So, all right, so... we're dead. Well, the only way we're going to get to this food is to move. Also,
yeah, we need to find some food.
These aren't colorblind friendly colors you picked here. Just want to call that out.
Sorry.
I'm not trying to put you on blast, but...
Yeah. I'll tell you what, look, because you got the wonder of...
But wait, in all fairness, it has the name over it. So, Mike, redemption.
Well, the online version, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, the online version, I mean.
I was going to say,
normally we'd have some nice miniatures of our actual characters, but
I don't know
how to do that in Tabletop Simulator.
To be fair, that seems like a pain. But what you can do, as the king of this session, the host of the session, if you hover over one of these things and hold down plus or minus, you could just make one of them bigger. It's my favorite thing in Tabletop Simulator. You can just dramatically change the size of things.
There you go. You can be the big.
You just make things bigger or smaller. It's great. You're just like, I want these components to be twice as big.
But you know what? In all fairness, though, the contractor should be bigger.
Yeah, and let's make the dice bigger as well. Right. Let's make the dice bigger.
Now we fixed our Matt problem. You can be little Matt, and they've got big Matt.
There you go. That's fine. We'll go with that. All right. So reveal, draw monster. Great. Where's the monster pile? Oh, that's the whole deck. Just one. Right.
Oh, you're in trouble. 2 bears.
I got the 2 bears. That's not great.
One of our objectives is to kill 2 bears, though. So you could,
Well, that's your job, Matt. You just swap the bears. And
all right. All right. So
you're like one bear short of a picnic at this point.
I got 2 actions left, right? No, I had 3 actions left.
I think you've just moved. Yeah.
I just moved. So 1. Okay. So let's hit.
You do have 2 because you equipped your knife.
Right. Okay. So
now this is your 3rd.
I think we're gonna just throw this knife at one of these bears. Just hit him for 6. And I think I'm just gonna hit this bear again for 3.
You can't. Well, you have to hit him for 3 first, because I believe throw knife is discard it.
Discard it.
So just stab him first, then throw it.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
How do you think throwing things works, just generally?
They stay in your hand.
Are you sort of a magician on the side? Is this? You're not used to physics?
Maybe.
I like
maybe
that.
It's a magic chef.
Post-apocalyptic magic chef. That's.
There's an expansion idea, Mike, for you right now.
Now we're talking.
This is what we're doing. Brainstorm. Okay, so here you go. That's it.
So your monsters are going to activate from left to right. So we'll start with this bear that you almost killed first. It deals damage.
Short range is safe, right? It's only me.
Sure. Short range is everything on your tile. So it's yourself and other bears. So this bear is going to deal 5 damage to you and then 5 damage to this bear.
But then,
and then this bear is going to. Then you're going to take another 5 damage from this bear, and this bear is going to kill this bear.
Okay, great.
And your hunger goes up.
All right, well, that's miserable.
Yeah, you should have dealt 9 damage to the second bear, and then you would have avoided 5 damage.
Well, I didn't know about these
rules. Screwed up.
So, kind of messed up here, misplay. But it's okay.
Bear. It's fine. It's just a bear.
That's one bear. So wait, that's 1 bear down, right? So
one bear down. We need one more one.
Right. Exactly. At the end of the day,
and
Matt's
that bear
done
only has 7. Yeah.
what have we done, you know?
Nothing.
I've not done anything, so I guess I should probably do something, right?
I hid in these caverns. That's what I did.
Okay, so I'm going to roll.
That's me.
I'm going to roll my dice first to see if something spawns, right?
Yep.
All right, let's roll the dice. I'm lucky again. No trouble in the van.
Yeah, we've got a good streak there. I'll do the clock.
So I've got a wolf already.
Oh, yeah, and then draw a card.
Yep. And this card just sits in my hand or plays straight away?
It goes in your hand, yeah.
Okay, great. So, just for people at home, I've got Morning Joe, which has reduced my hunger by 2 and gain an action. I think I'm okay on being hungry right now.
Yep, you're not hungry yet. That'll be for later, though.
I'll be hungry later. That's true. I've got my dinner for today scheduled for 11:15, I think. It's going to be a good late meal. All right, passive, reduce incoming damage by 2. You know, it seems a bit excessive to use a flamethrower on a on a wolf. I could flamethrow a bear, but it deals 6 damage to all monsters and 3 damage to all survivors. So I feel like that again, and it does seem to cost fuel, which I'm not sure I've got.
It comes in with those uses, so.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's just we would have to discard fuel to refuel it. You know, like everything comes in fully loaded, but you know you can't reload the flamethrower with bullets. You have to reload it with fuel can, which we also need for the van. So.
Right. Okay. Well, there's nothing up with you. So basically, I've got a card that would let me move and attack something. Oh, I know actually.
Well,
yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to go to the suburbs. So I'm going to play tackle. Boom.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Hold on. That's just a single one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just put it in your discard pile.
Ah, of course. Yes. And that means I can stun a target and move to that area, and then I deal 3 damage to myself and draw a card. So I'm going to stun the bear. Boom. And
we'll tap the bear so it's stunned.
Nice.
Take 3 health off myself and draw a card. Right.
Now, Matt, what you could do is you could scavenge from either the blue. You'll notice these looking glasses here. That means you can take the scavenge action on this tile, which means you could draw from, you know, the green deck, which is most likely to be food, or the blue deck, which is like ammunition and stuff. But you can find fuel and food, you know, in all of them. It's just sort of like the distribution of things.
Yeah. So I've was this lightning symbol mean that this action was free?
No, that every card you play still costs an action.
That's fine.
There's two card types. There's equipment, which you play and equip, and it sort of stays in play. And then there's instant actions, which are, you know, you just do what they say and they go in your discard pile.
Cool. And how many actions have I got?
4.
Great. So that's 1. I might do a bit of scavenging. Yeah. I'm going to do some green scavenging. So do I literally just draw a card and see what I get?
Yep, you just draw a card. You can hold it in your hand.
Oh,
you got some food. I mean, it's cooperative. It's not like you can't tell us what you have.
Yeah, but like this food looks pretty good. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you may want to eat it yourself.
The peanut butter looks pretty hot.
You can trade scavenge cards as a free action. Like, so if you wanted to be kind, you could give that green card, that food card to the chef who's on the same tile as you.
To the bear.
But if you want to keep it for yourself, that's fine too.
Well, no one's hungry right now, but when people are hungry,
we can worry about it later.
So that's 2 actions, and then I'm going to. I think I might move again. Is that crazy?
Sure. No, let's do it.
We have to get there. You know, we gotta.
Oh, gas station.
Wicked. I get a free scavenge on the red pile.
So you just draw from red.
Do I have a hand limit on my cards?
There's a 10 card limit.
Great. And then for my final action,
what did you get? Did you find some fuel? Because fuel.
I did not.
Okay.
I found some more food.
Oh, look at you.
Some short range food. Presumably, like, you know, donuts that you can throw. Get your hand on. I'm going to move again. I'm just feeling ambitious. Okay.
Okay. So this, you'll see that this tile says test. So you see that little number up below your health on your contractor card that says 4?
Yep.
That's your like fleetness of foot or your stealth. So we're going to roll 2 dice, and you're going to have to roll a 4 under. Otherwise, you're going to fail. and you're going to get exposed to some icy, some chills.
Mm.
Yeah, as expected.
That's me getting exposed.
Yep, so you've been exposed to the elements, so it starts with Frost Nip. So we just take this card.
Oh, I see.
And if you ever get exposed again now, we'll draw a card and flip it over, and it'll be something even worse than Frost Nip.
I did think at the start, when it was like, oh, it's chilly outside, and I saw Frost Nip, I was like, nip, come on. It's just a bit nippy, we'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, okay. So at the end of my turn, I'm going to suffer 2 damage, and that is the end of my turn now, right? Yep.
Also 3 damage from the wolf, but yes. And then your hunger will go up.
I forgot to kill the wolf.
Yeah, that happens. That does happen, but
I mean, honestly, you still have more health than I started with. So
it's fine.
3 damage a turn is not a huge deal. 10? Do we have any 10 showing yet? No, not quite. We're doing well.
The time dial?
Yeah, go ahead. Here, I got it. There we go. Okay, now what am I going to do? I'm tempted to go to this objective, but I don't know if I can get there fast enough. All right, I'm going to play this, just because it's a fun card. I'm going to play this Plan a Getaway card. Which allows me to move everyone 1 space.
Ooh, all right.
So you can pull me out of the ice.
You guys can pick which way you want to go.
I'm in shelter here.
And I got this free scavenge on the farm, and I found a backpack, which will give me more storage. You can see that I didn't even talk about this, but you can hold 4 backpacks worth of equipment. You've got like 4 storage slots. But I found a backpack, so if I played this, I could then get a 5th spot. So I could hold, have more guns or equipment or whatever I have going on.
I noticed that. That's what I've got. I've got a tool belt. Yeah, so I've got a thing I can do that adds 2. Yeah. So I've noticed that you can, some things like the flamethrower, for example, will sit in the middle here. I'm guessing to take up 2 slots.
Your stuff especially, actually, the contractor stuff is especially big and takes up a lot of space.
All right,
They're going to take the risk or go back to the gas station.
I think I'm going to go back to the gas station because I'm very chunky, but I'm not going to push my luck.
Oh, look, we found the shelter too, so that's a good. We've overcome some of our bad tiles now, and we're doing some better tiles. Also. All right, I think for my next 2 actions, I'm going to move. Reveal exposure, sweet. I'm Frostnip now as well. I'm not going to end my turn there. And then for my 3rd action, I'm going to go here. And look, I found a vault. And then for my final action, I'm going to...
vault?
Vault 15 of all vaults.
Yeah. I'm going to use my 4th action. I'm going to use my 4th action to complete this objective. Which is cost an action. Hold on, I think there's some more flavor checks as the story progresses. Spend an action to draw 4 cards from the green scavenge deck. It's hard work digging in the cold ground, but after working up a bit of sweat, I've unearthed the canned food we buried here a few months ago. So I get to draw 4 green cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this fuel, we also found a fuel, so that's equipped.
Oh, nice.
And then you've got some food, contractor, right? I've got 2, so
I've got so much food. Honestly, I think
we've got the food done. I think we just need to open this gate and get back to the van. We need some more fuel.
Mike, I think this. We've got this chef with us. He just keeps attracting bears, and they haven't even brought any food. I think.
Yeah.
You got to bring me the food.
He's good at cooking and he's not good at finding it.
I'm not good at fighting off bears here. That's not.
He's just attracting bears. It's just. It's a nightmare.
Not going to be good.
He probably was trying to get that bear's honey or something. That's true. That's what triggered this whole thing.
All right. So we can't move the van in this one, right?
I can move the van as a driver.
Okay.
I could have done it with my plan ahead card, my plan getaway, but I didn't move it. That's a bad roll, Matt. 9?
It's a pretty terrible roll.
That's not great, is it? Yeah.
But none of us are on a 9, right? So we're just
No,
gonna
but
put
it covers the shelter, so that's not good.
We're gonna put monster tokens on those 9 tiles.
Oh,
So when you get to a tile with a monster token, you remove the monster tile and you spawn a monster on yourself.
So is that
right?
if you match that? Whenever you roll the dice, if you match it. I thought it was if you're in a space and you rolled.
It's no, it's like it's like inverse Catan. You know, instead of getting resources, stuff just gets a lot worse.
It's like bad.
Yeah, so you can see like it seems easy at the start, and then you unreal all the tiles, and then all of a sudden there's like tons of monsters
it's like
all over the place.
I mean, if you're on the tile, it's even worse because then you just straight up everyone on the tile draws a monster. But if you're not on a tile, you place these roaming monster tokens, and they sort of represent like a threat level, growing and growing and growing.
All right. First action. Well, this bear is stunned, so I'm pretty good, but still gonna attach the frying pan because that I should have done that last turn. I guess I'll draw one more card. Don't have another knife, so that's my second action. I'm not gonna leave the shelter.
You're not gonna go explore the ski resort?
No.
He's got to beat a bear to death with a frying pan first. It's
There's just some dead people on a ski lift. We don't have to see them. I mean,
But then if I only have one more action, so I'm kind of.
oh, okay, yeah, you don't want to.
I'm in search of my knife, so I'll just draw another card, which I just got. So.
There we go. So it worked out for you.
So bear is now unstunned at the end of my turn. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. He activates, and his activation is to become unstunned. And your hunger goes
a
up.
little bit more hunger. Yep. All right, I'm good. I didn't roll the wheel. I didn't roll the time wheel.
Here, do you have your what? Yeah. What? Let me do it because we were at 9. I was at 10. You're at 11.
Okay.
Roll the time wheel. Oh.
I have like my percentage rotation set, so it should be
right.
that.
Smart.
My tabletops and macros set up.
We are all on indoor tiles though, which is nice because after Matt rolls, we're going to hit exposure, but we'll all be inside nice and cozy, so we won't get any more frost nip or hypothermia or whatever else.
Okay. 8. Anyone for 8? The van.
Oh, there's
the vault.
And the vault? Oh, I couldn't see that.
My guy's right. So I draw a monster. It's okay. Wolf.
Okay, so does that mean that my wolf now does extra damage?
Yeah, so our wolves are doing 5 damage now instead of 3 like before. So.
Our wolves have become a problem.
Yeah, they're it's like they're a pack or something.
I know. It's not ideal. Okay, so I am going to play my nail gun, and I am going to I'm gonna try and nail a wolf basically. So I guess I got 5 shots with this.
And
I still got 4 actions this time, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Just want to check.
It's an action, but otherwise you are 100% right here. I can put some ammo on it for you.
Yeah, wicked. All right, so second action, gonna shoot the wolf. So I guess go through 3 damage to that wolf and to stun it. And I kind of wonder if it's like,
I only gave you 4 ammo because obviously you spent 1.
Yeah. You know, I think I might also. I think I'm going to wear a hard hat. So now I've got. I've got 1 more action.
Scavenge for more fuel, man. We need that fuel.
All right, okay. I'll scavenge for fuel.
Did you get it?
You've convinced me. I did! Immediately equip as a free action. Done.
Nice.
Boosh.
All right, we will need 1 more fuel. We are making progress.
All right, that's me. That's all my my actions she wrote.
We got frost.
Hunger goes up. Yeah, you're still frost nip though, so you're going to lose 2 health.
I do. Does my hard hat protect against? No, it's
no.
No. Okay, I was going to say.
Not from status. It's from incoming damage, not like.
I mean, that makes sense. I just wanted to check.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically, if you're wearing a hat, it does keep some warmth in your head.
Not a hard hat, really. A little bit, but not. It's not especially toasty.
Yeah. 6 is safe. I'll tick the clock. Draw a card. Ooh. bazooka.
What's your hand size? What's your hand size right now? You know, just
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm at max. I'm gonna equip this bazooka for my first action.
I've got some people asking in the chat about this. So people are assuming this is straight co-op because people are like, there's no traitor stuff, right? This is just straight
traitor
co-op.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, that is a great question. Once upon a time during development, I did try to put a traitor mechanic in this game, and it made it absolutely impossible to win. So it was not fun. Matt, are you cool if I kill that bear for you?
I would ask you to, because otherwise I have to waste my knife.
Okay. I'm gonna use this bazooka to deal 10 damage to it.
Just get rid of them.
Sure.
I do have to also burn 2 cards from my deck into my discard pile. So this is what I was talking about. The driver gets through her deck a little faster. But she does have a bazooka, which is pretty sweet. All right, we've killed the 2 bears, so that objective we can cross off the list.
Is there like maybe not in the tabletop version, but in the real version, is there a card with like the objectives on, so you can?
There's a book. Yeah, there's a book.
Okay.
I actually have the book open in a PDF on my computer. That's what I've been changing the window to read from. I'm gonna play this Adrenaline Rush, which gains 2 actions. So I'll spend it for 1, then I gain 2, but it removes status effects like this Frostnet. I also have to burn 2 cards, which sucks, but you know.
What are you gonna do?
It also reduces all the incoming damage, so I'm actually not going to worry about the wolf. I'm going to move. Goddamn caverns. Oh, an elk. That's not so bad.
How many in this deck? How many bosses are there?
There are 0 bosses in the first mission.
Okay.
Not something I'm throwing at people in mission 1. You can tell you're an original player though, because there's. I've got to spawn monsters again because this place 5. We've got some 5s, don't we? Oh, another way to lose the game is if we run out of. There's 30 monster tokens, and if we ever need to place one on the map and we don't have any tokens left, we lose from that way as well.
It's then presumed that there are just too many.
It's presumed you're just completely overwhelmed.
There are a lot of ways to lose this game, and I think one thing as playing it for a long time is you could really be over ambitious and think like, oh, I got it. Like, let's just combine all this stuff together.
You mean like I just did as the cocky designer of the game? Because not only did I spawn more monsters and draw more monsters, but I moved into these back roads. I lose an action. And when I end my turn there, I draw a monster.
Yeah, see, and now you got 3 wolves on the board, right? So there's 3 wolves in play.
Yeah, so they're each doing 7 damage. So my Adrenaline Rush reduces everything by 2. But I still almost killed myself.
Yeah, we can't be having that in the intro.
So I'm gonna take 10 from the wolves. And then 2 from the elk. 10 health left, I think. And my hunger increases.
We don't have a doctor in this. We don't have a doctor.
The surgeon is in this up. The surgeon's up in this bag over here. All the old stuff from the old game.
How many characters now are there total, just offhand?
That is a good question. This one has 4, and we had 8 in the original, 2 in Kaiju Rising. That's 10. Or maybe 8 counting them. Maybe 6 in the original, 2 in Kaiju Rising for 8, and then Gothic Horrors for 2. 11, I think. Or 12, the Adventurer. I think there's 12, and so there'll be 16 total after this one.
And there's like the alternatives one too, right?
Well, there's like those are just different innate abilities for the.
Right.
There's the same deck of cards.
Is that you're done with your turn?
I'm done. Yeah. What? Me taking 12 damage wasn't enough for you? Or 10 damage? I should have 2 more because that helps reduce.
Another 9.
Sweet.
So that's a token.
Getting dicey. If there's any other questions in the chat, I mean, I know what time is it? How much more time do we have? I know we don't have a ton more time. Probably won't have time to finish it. So if anybody in chat has questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Let's see. Up. Oh, we got the painkillers. I like this mechanic. Okay.
All right.
Deal a survivor in range 3 damage every time that survivor would take damage reduced by 3 until the start of your next turn.
Yeah.
So that's like if there's a bunch. If that's like if they're gonna get.
That's like for me. I might need some painkiller.
Yeah, but you're way over there. Like,
So we've got a couple of questions in the chat. Link's Deity asks,
Sure.
what are the biggest, baddest weapons a player can get?
Every deck is unique, so it sort of depends. The baddest weapon for the driver is the bazooka, which I brought out. I mean, that's the most damage weapon for her. Although I think the Uzi is a little more useful. She's got the Agram too, which is useful. She's got a lot of automatic fire type weapons. The Contractor, you can see in his picture down there, is most famous for his sledgehammer, which is a short range, 6 damage, unlimited use, swinging for the fences type weapon. But he also has the flamethrower, which is in your hand, but quite good. And he also has a saw launcher where he is launching like saw blades at people. There, let's use the old search function.
Yeah, find it, dig it out.
I can find that for you. Yeah, here's the old saw launcher. That's a good one for him. The chef doesn't have great weapons. The chef pretty much has knives and a bunch of cool ways to use knives. So like the butcher, like if the chef has a knife equipped, they have an instant action card called Butcher, which just kills. I don't know, Matt, if you have it in your hand, it kills the monster with the least amount of health or something in front of you or something. Yeah, there it is. I also love the art for that one.
Yeah, they're fun aliens.
If you have a knife equipped, discard a non-boss monster. So right now that would have been any monster.
Yeah, it'd be good against like the bear or something.
Anybody but the bosses. So
yeah. Last action, so a little bit of a combo here. Last action, I'll use just a short range knife on the elk for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oop. So that's 3 to him, and then end turn, last action, the elk will deal 2 to me. And then my frying pan is like a counter.
Hits him back. Mm-hmm.
Hits him back for 3.
He dies.
Elk is no more.
Yep.
Elk is dead.
You're dead. My hunger now goes up to 4. We're almost at hunger point, Mike. I'm coming to you to maybe cook you up something nice.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going to run out of time, but my plan was to hopefully get here, unlock the gate, and then use my card to bring
the van around.
To bring the van right next to us.
Oh, neat.
To use our getaway plan, because it actually lets me use. That's a new mechanic. You're never allowed to move this tile, but
yeah, it's
the driver has that ability to sort of warp around. So I was going to try to shortcut us that way.
Yeah, not having the driver on the team increases the difficulty. That's like its own.
The other thing, too, one of the other characters in the game, which we're not playing as, is the thief. So for that person in chat asking the best weapons or best sort of what each character sort of does, the thief has a deck of 50 cards, so much bigger than everyone else. And the thief only has 19 health. So the thief is all about avoiding monsters. She's sort of like a glass cannon, roguish type character. Because for every card in her discard pile, her attacks get stronger. She has a bunch of these assassinate cards, which do a damage for basically every card in their discard pile. So she can do, she can assassinate from the shadows for like 20 damage near the end of the game, potentially.
And I can see actually as well, we've got a question saying how much of the existing expansion, etc. stuff will be available in the new Kickstarter?
So obviously all the new stuff will be available. We will be offering basically everything will be available in the pledge manager. So if you wanted to pledge we're going to have a pledge manager pledge where if you just chip in $5 during the Kickstarter, you'll get access to the pledge manager, because what that allows us to do is make sure that we have stock of each, the exact stock of what we have left or what we need to order for each region. So in general, everything will be available, but some things like the old expansions, Gothic Horrors especially, it will be limited based on the number of copies we have left. But I mean, we're not dire. We've got a decent amount of everything. Gotcha. I just don't want to. You know how Kickstarter is. It's like, if you have 1,000 backers all of a sudden for something, you don't want to have to print 100 of something, because you're just a little short. So
yeah, no, absolutely. So actually, I've got a couple of bits of art here that you provided with me. This is some of the new stuff. We've got an elk, we've got a saber-toothed tiger, and what looks like a Viking wearing a Bluetooth headset.
Yes. So to cover sort of what you're going through there, right? For this sort of demo, we played through just the intro scenario, which just starts with the wilderness, the normal creatures you'd see in the wilderness that may attack you. But as you go forward in the game, you'll encounter new tribes of people. So that represents sort of the guy in his sort of stuff. And humans act a little differently in here. They sort of start suspicious with you, and they'll sort of poke you with damage and run away. But if you make them angry, they'll hunt you like a normal monster. But if you give them your stuff, they will become your friend and help you. So you're actually manipulating the monsters in front of you with humans. And then the saber-toothed tiger is for when you're playing the Ice Age Apocalypse. Stuff obviously gets colder and colder. And then there's mammoths and saber-toothed tigers, and I forget what else we have in the Ice Age. Yetis or something, Sasquatches start roaming about and coming after you.
All sorts of fun. So yeah, I've now got the Maximum Apocalypse Wasted Wilds big image on the thing. Yeah. We got you've got some deserty stuff. You've got some horrible cold cave stuff. You got some.
So yeah, we played. Yeah, so this was the first mission of the Frozen Wilds campaign, but this game will have 2 distinct campaigns you can play through with sequential missions. There's the cold and then the hot, so you can play through sort of like the cold, getting frostbite, and then of course there's global warming. Everything went really bad, climate change, and you have sort of like the diesel punk Mad Max-esque enemies chasing after you. But yeah, Wasted Wilds is coming to Kickstarter May 18th. So for anyone out there who thought this was interesting, it is a standalone expansion. So I know we asked if everything would be available, but it doesn't really matter, because you can get this game and everything you need to play through both of these campaigns will be included in this box. So, 48 new map tiles with scavenge decks. There's been a big gap of time between the last expansion of Max Apocalypse and this, because we've really been developing and making sure this would be a great spot for new people to jump in. The rulebook has a learn to play guide, so you can sort of learn to play as you play. Just sort of like I taught you Matt, on the fly here. The book sort of gives you the rules as you need them as you flip through. Yeah,
I must admit I was slightly anxious about the fact that we just started playing and I had no idea what was going on, but it was fine. So that's nice.
I've done that quite a lot. When we used to have conventions in person, I used to throw people in, as Matt would as well. You just call people in, sit down, and you get right to playing.
Well, actually, Matt,
it's very approachable. Very approachable.
If you're lurking in the Twitch chat as well, Matt, I know that there's a few more questions from people wanting to know some stuff about this, and also if you want to ping a link to the Kickstarter page, then
I can definitely ping a link
and make sure that it gets through to people.
I can definitely ping a link, and I should put that in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, easiest way to do it. We can make sure that gets greenlit. It's easiest that way, because that means if people want to ask you questions, then they can direct them at you, etc.
Yep. Perfect.
That's
I can be greenlit then.
All we've got time for. I've got a cheeky
I know we're out of time, so
10 minutes
thank
now
you everyone for watching. And
thanks so much for coming along.
You got botted. You gotta stop your link up. You got banished by the bot.
You got banished? Oh, don't worry. It's fine.
They'll greenlight us.
That's an automatic thing. It's going to happen.
Yeah, the bot will eventually greenlight me. So.
It's a robot. You have to kind of give it a little tap on the top of its head to be like, stupid robot. There we are. In fact, it's been posted by us. So yeah,
okay, great.
Brilliant. Done. But yeah, thank you very much for coming along.
Thanks for watching. I know we're out of time. If anyone has questions, hit us up on the Discord. I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, enjoy the rest